Throughout this pilgrimage of the 12 Jyothir Lingams, it is clear that each name reveals an important aspect of the identity of the Supreme Being. This allows us to gain a better understanding of Supreme God Shiva's great virtues and acts, and how we can fulfill our responsibilities by performing these rituals for God. But do we really understand the meaning, how these pearls of knowledge have become entwined in the rosary of rituals? The water, falling drop by drop from the urn above the Shiva Lingam, signifies that the mind has to be continuously connected with the Supreme, so that the soul is filled with the divine powers and virtues from the Supreme Soul. The milk, yogurt and water that are offered to the Shiva Lingam represents that in order to stay in the remembrance of the Supreme Soul Shiva, we need to have purity of mind and an enlightened character. The uk flower, datura and bell leaves that are offered onto the Shiva Lingam indicate that negative qualities, intoxications and addictions should be offered up and surrendered to God Shiva, the purifier. 3 lines of sandalwood paste are drawn on the Shiva Lingam with a dot placed in the center. This symbolizes that Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar are actually the creation of Shiva. Through Brahma, God creates the new world. Through Vishnu, God sustains the new creation. And through Shankar, the unaged impure world is destroyed. The Supreme Being is also called God. The initial of God signifies 3 divine acts. G represents Brahma, the generator. O represents Vishnu, the operator. And D represents Shankar, the destroyer. If the Supreme Soul Shiva is the creator of Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar, how could they be considered to be the same? In fact, we notice a great difference between Shiva and Shankar. The Supreme Soul Shiva is an incorporeal point of light, whereas Shankar is a deity with a subtle body. Supreme Soul Shiva is also the creator of Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar, whereas Shankar is just the creation of Shiva. The Supreme Soul Shiva dwells in the supreme abode of transcendent light, whereas Shankar dwells below in the subtle regions. The Supreme Soul Shiva is known as the benefactor of all, whereas Shankar is understood to be the destroyer. It is apparent that the temples are known as Shiva temples and not Shankar temples. This is why you would notice that the Shiva Lingam represents a point of light and not a Shankar idol. The festival is known as Maha Shivratri and not Shankaratri. Shiva temples are always called Shivalay and not Shankaralay. The deity Shankar is shown to be lost in the love of his beloved God. So who is that God? Since the name, form, dwelling place and activities are different, how could they be considered to be the same? Now you may ask, what is the relevance of these spiritual teachings for this modern world? We find that there is a connection, because today people are desperately searching for meaning and happiness in the world. They have become caught up in the attractions of a life of illusions. Mankind's ancient spiritual traditions have been distorted and their essence forgotten, while people today follow blindly the new materialistic culture. It is said that the youth are the foundation of tomorrow's world, but are they prepared to face the challenges of this present time? Young people today are often exposed and influenced to such a degree by fashion that they have lost sight of their own identity. Caught up in the excesses of addiction, their lives go up in smoke, merged in a world of media entertainment at the expense of their own time, energy and wealth.
What are you doing with your life? In which direction are you going? Do you really want to waste your valuable time, your energy and wealth, like your friends are? This is an illusory world of lies, corruption, deceit, and hypocrisy. Do you really want to be a part of all of that?
Through Raja Yoga, the mind can become concentrated and the intellect stabilized, resulting in a feeling of well-being. This creates stability and mastery of the self and the sense organs. So, when a soul goes into the depths of introspection, it becomes possible to have a realization of God.
Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam dharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham.
Sweet children, when there is extreme irreligiousness in the world, then I incarnate to establish the true religion. I am Shiva, the form of light, the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Father of all souls. At the present time, all human souls have forgotten me, their Supreme Father, and have come under the influence of lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego, resulting in sorrow, peacelessness, and impurity. This is when I come and teach you easy Raja Yoga and spiritual knowledge, and give the blessing of liberation and liberation in life to all human souls. Sweet children, consider yourself to be a soul separate from your body, and remember me, your supreme spiritual Father. Through this remembrance of me, all your suffering and sin will be finished. You have been doing devotion of me for many births. Now I am giving you the fruit of your devotion in the form of knowledge. For this, I take the support of the body of an ordinary man, Prajapita Brahma. Through this medium, I establish the golden-aged world, which is your inheritance, your God-fatherly birthright. So, be yogi, be pure, be yogi. Be pure. Be yogi. Be pure. There are many people like him who have come to study godly knowledge and yoga at the Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual University to experience peace and happiness in their lives. This institution has been created for the benefit of humanity and world peace by the Supreme Father himself. Beyond caste, culture and language, not only in India but all over the world, this institution is benefiting mankind both morally and spiritually. So let us all join together in love and brotherhood and spread peace into the world.